What's up, everybody? Welcome to Slotcar Shenanigans. I'm waiting for my partner in crime, Pete, but I thought I'd jump in, start up the show, say hi to people that are there. Hopefully, Pete will be along shortly. But yeah, well, I'm back. Another live stream. Wasn't sure about doing this one, but you know, Pete and we talked about it, and yeah, we're here. So let me go through the chat, say hi to everyone that's here. We got Bo, thank you for being here. Slotcar Wildman and the Fingers, they were here for a very long time before the show, so appreciate you guys. We got DG Raceway, hey, how are you? Cool with a K, I don't remember seeing you before. Thank you very much for being here today. We have Harry, Slotcar Latvia here. Harry, I love your videos, man. Really cool. Thanks a lot. And then we have Pete from Show Me Slotcars, who also became a bronze member. I really appreciate that, Pete. Thank you for being here. We also have Clearwater 124. Always, thank you so much for being here again. And Hughes from way across the pond, staying up really late. What can I say? He's a legend. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate it a lot. So I'm just gonna, like, you know, hey, we have, wow, there's more people. Sorry, guys. There's Don Young. Thank you for being here. We have McKnight Racing in the house. I don't know if this is Ian or Doug, but either or, thank you so much for being here, guys. Slot Journals in the house. DNA Slot Cars. Tad is here. And I believe Pete is joining us now. So let's see. Guest one. Is that Pete?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live, bud.
No!
Yeah, bud.
No! What are you doing? It's 10:30.
It's 4:30 p.m. here.
Right, hold on.
Pete will be back. It's all good. Yeah, sorry about that. So obviously we probably got our wires crossed. First show, we're allowed to make mistakes. All right, we got Tad in the house. We have DeLeon has just stepped in. Thank you very much for being here. Adrian, Slot Valley Racing, Dan is here. Thank you so much. We'll let Pete get set up, but let's see who else we have. I think I've covered everyone. What's up, Pete? You're frazzled, my man. Is it 9:30 there?
It's 9:30 here.
Oh shit! But you know, when I did the world clock, it says 4:30 is 10:30 p.m.
Cheers,
in
brother.
UK. Cheers, bro. Yeah, you can
the
tell
new
that
show,
this is an after-hour show. Because Pete's
Thursday's the new Friday.
yeah, exactly. All right. Let's see. I believe. Yes. Hey, Chris Fredder's in the house. Hey, Chris, how are you? Can you see the chat, Pete?
I can now. There's a button on the side here.
Yeah, bud.
Hey, there's loads of people in here. Hello,
There's
everyone.
a lot of people. Yes. Code Cantina is here.
A couple of people here, so I'll just sort of like just quickly sneak in the back door. No one will notice.
Nah. There's no sneaking around here, Pete. No sneaking whatsoever.
Because if this is 9:30, that's even better.
Yeah.
I've got some energy still.
Yeah, sorry about that, Pete. I think just, you know, we're trying to do this across the pond, guys, so bear with us. First show, but I think we're going to pull this off.
What's the worst that could happen?
People leave us. But anyway, so Pete, what is this show about?
Yes.
Why are we here? What are we doing this for?
Oh man, we're just here to have a laugh because we want some more slot car action in it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But
the
I was
purpose of the show.
yeah.
Go
So
on.
Pete and I were talking when I gave up my live stream. Pete was like, "Well, maybe we could do something," and I was like, "Yeah, it's cool, but I want to do a reactionary kind of show. I want to do a show that's not politically correct all the time because I find like a lot of the shows that are out there are so politically correct and stuff.
What,
So
like
I
fluffy
just like,
bollocks?
yeah, I just wanna do a show where we're allowed to express ourselves, and I'm not afraid of the YouTube algorithm or anything. I don't really care about it, and you know that. So I was like, you know what? I don't care if my channel gets all the black flags. Let's just have a show, and that's why we created this show. It's a bi-weekly show, so understand that we
Yep.
will not be here every week. It's a bi-weekly show, and the show is about really taking whatever's happened in the last 2 weeks and going through it and commenting about it, as well as trying to bring up relevant topics, whether it's mental health, whether it's getting
spur
better
'em
at
on.
slot cars. Yeah,
And spur them on to what got you this idea. It was in the same conversation where you said, "Did you see such and such a car, Pete?" And I was like,
yes.
I don't know, can't remember. That's my problem. I can't remember nothing. And,
Yeah, I
you're
think-
like, wow, I've got this idea, and that's where this stream come out of. So if we see this sort of stuff a couple of times, we're likely to remember what we want to buy.
Exactly. And the other thing was we get a lot of news and we get a lot of like this is coming out and that's coming out, but we never get to really discuss that. And I mean, Travis is trying recently with live streams to kind of go through the news or whatever he presents and discuss it. And maybe Dave does do his Sunday afternoon stuff as well. But I felt like, this is a good opportunity for other people outside of Dave Kennedy and Travis, who are doing a lot of the grunt work, including the other people in Europe that help them out to really bring us the news. This would be an opportunity for us to just go through what's really happened over the last 2 weeks, and not only just in relation to slot cars itself, but everything around it, right? Because there's a lot that happens around the slot car world, and then with YouTube becoming a lot more prevalent and there's more content being produced. We can go through that as well and see, really shine the light on things that we like, and I won't be afraid to say things that I don't like, and I think that's important as well because, I think I'm not here to create any discourse, but I think I want to create discussion. I think that's what this is about too. So. And because we kind of have different opinions about a lot of things, it's kind of cool because, we're not always going to agree. Exactly. So we've had a couple of other people join in. We have Think Driving School is here, and he says Pete is
who
hot.
that is. That's Timmy. That's Ian, Doug, or Timmy. That is.
Oh, yeah? But
yeah, their other business, their daytime boring job.
Oh, yeah? Oh, no, here we go. Yeah. MP's in the house. I was in the middle of watching his podcast with DNA, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I listened to that. That was good.
So any Rate My Layout shows where Need the Hobby can submit photos. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what we're here. If you want to, I will put in the description after the show links to my own email address where you can send me any images you'd like or anything you want us to discuss or get reactions. And we do have a segment where I can hide things.
Related.
Slotcar related. Exactly.
You just open a wide open goal rule. You have to change email addresses and everything off that.
Yeah, well, Slotcar related. But we have a segment here where we hide things from each other and we just show them on screen and get each other's reaction. Yeah. So we'll go through that later today. So it should be fun.
So Code Cantina, definitely.
Yeah, that beer must be really warm, Pete. Pete took off his jumper.
I just took a sip. No, it's cold.
Yeah. Let's see.
No one wants a warm beer.
yeah, I think that's a pretty cool thing. Here we go. Dan says his slot invasion rear axle kit video is out. So if you guys want to see how to install a slot invasion rear axle kit, maybe go check out Slot Valley Racing Dan's channel.
That's HO, isn't it?
No. He did it to his 132nd. He's just got into 132nd Carrera, right? So,
Okay.
yeah. So we have a couple more minutes to, if you want to go through and say hi to anyone, Pete, before we jump into
I was
our
just going to ask you how your week's been, Rahul. You know, it's all been like I've turned up late and then I've been in the focus, haven't I? So you dodged the bullet. What have you been up to, mate?
Whatever. Actually, today's been a crazy day. I don't think I've been on the computer now 9 hours straight. So
really,
my eyes are a little bit blurry. My eyes are a little bit blurry right now. So I'm seeing two of you, Pete, and it's nothing to do with beer, but you know, maybe it's time for me to get one because I might get focused up.
I always knew I'd have a clone someday.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Other than that,
this week?
Well, yes, I did, Pete.
What'd you
get? I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. So we'll go through them now, I guess. I'll focus in on me.
We're going to see any in a bit because I don't want to ruin the...
Well, we can see them in a bit or we can see them now.
No, I'm seeing them now. No, I thought you meant are any in the presentation slide thingies.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. That's more reactionary.
All right.
So, obviously I was watching Harry's show and I picked up one of these minis. Right? These Scalextric minis.
Yeah.
But
like
as you know, there's some developments happening on my channel where I've got a new member joining me and we're going to do some live racing and stuff. So I was like, well, if you have one mini, you might as well get a second, right? So I got the second mini too, right? And I thought they were really cute and it'd be really fun to smash them around the track. So getting prepared for that.
Have you put them on Dragon's Tail yet?
Not yet. That will come probably this weekend. The other thing I got was now I've been collecting a lot of NSRs, but I never picked up the McLaren 720. I'll be honest, it's a really good looking car.
It's nice.
Right?
Is it a rigid spoiler?
No, it's actually the flexible one. It moves back and forth.
Well, look at that.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
My. I like it.
Yeah, so I picked one of these up, and I'm waiting for the blue. Dave Kennedy on this Sunday's live stream, where he was unboxing, he showed the blue and lime green version of this car. So I'm hoping to pick that one up so we can race these two head to head. Yeah. So that would be kind of cool. Nice. And then, you know, MP and I, we talked about this, but MP's big on the F1. I'm very into the modern F1. I know, Pete, you're into the older historic F1s. But I just picked up... Yeah, so I just picked up the Lando Norris one that came out. They released a Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri one. But I picked up the Lando Norris one. And this will go head-to-head against my Alonso one that I picked up earlier. So... And then I'll show the last three a bit later in the slides.
All right, sound. Just say hello to Colin and Delion. Forgive me if you've come in. I was late to my own show, so you know I don't know who's in and who's not, but just shouting out. 3B is in. That's
Dan. So Dan's in the house. We also have Nico slipped in. Nico's in the house.
Mr. 1K, yes.
Yeah. Mr. 1K.
Let's give a round of applause, everyone.
Absolutely.
That Slotcar dude has made it.
Welcome to the 1K club. Now you can go ahead and go to 2K.
That's it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Round of applause and move ahead. Let's go. Yeah. All right. What about you, Pete? What have you been up to?
So, I got the decals onto this now.
Let me focus in on you for a second, Pete. There you go.
So it's the Alfa. Yeah, that's a good point actually. It's an Alfa Romeo, but it's got Ferrari stickers on it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was owned before. I think it was actually owned. Ferrari owned everything before breaking away. But yeah, really like this. This was a kit that I got in from Pendle with some Christmas vouchers last year, but I want to race it in the Brooklands class at the Winter Classics this Sunday.
Yeah, and if you're a member of Pete's channel, he did the full build of this car on his members live stream. And it's a good opportunity for you, if you're not a member, to join Pete's membership, because he, unlike me, releases videos on a very regular basis for his members on a Wednesday every afternoon, where he takes you into his work table, like literally into his work table, and shows you how he puts things together. Yeah, just like that.
Tools. To be honest with you, as you know, I learn as much from you guys as I can show you, because I don't know. I know a lot, but I don't know it all. So just like some stuff, I'm just like, well, we'll try it out. A bit like these things here. Don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but we'll give it a go.
Well, look at that.
It's not bad.
Is that a
I
windshield?
nearly dropped it. It was the windscreen,
Yeah.
but I cut it too short because I didn't have the right kit. Oh well.
So MP was very happy that you made a Ferrari, and then he said it looks incredible. I don't know whether it's because it's a Ferrari only, or it's just that it looks so good. But it does look good. I really like the way you put the decals on, and that's what you did this Wednesday. So it looks sharp. You still have to clear coat it.
Yeah, I wanted to wait until the decals were on and I got the driver in, and then maybe just change the color of the steering wheel a little bit. I don't know what color to make it. Maybe a brown rim, but it's just tinkering. And then I'll do clear coat just to lock all of that in. So yeah,
maybe
that
a
was
white wheel to match his helmet, maybe.
White wheels?
Like a white steering wheel.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because you already have brown gloves, so it might just give it a contrast.
Exactly. That was my hesitation. It's got brown gloves.
Yeah.
So did that last night. That was cool. Launched the members WhatsApp chat today, which is it's literally on fire.
I know, that's crazy.
That is fantastic. But you know, that's been going on. It was Mrs. Brown's birthday today, so we've been concentrating on that a bit. And other than that, mate, just working and trying to, you know, get some cash, scrape some cash together for some slot cars. That's what I've been up to. So it's been good. It's been good. Yeah.
Excellent. So should we get into our show, Pete? While we have friends still.
Yeah, Sam, let's do it. Let's have a look. What are we doing? We get stuck in.
All right. So obviously, our show is about the 2024 releases. So let's get started with the Scalextric stuff, right? And Pete, you happened to share with me the catalog from the Scalextric, or the link, which is not here. Wait, where is it? Here it is. There you go. Ta-da. Voila. So let's get initial reactions. What are your initial reactions on the Scalextric releases, Pete?
Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. And generally, right, I know this sounds a bit random, but I just generally, because of my cash flow in the last year, and I know I keep bleating on about it, I've tended to buy cars that I'm going to race, because any additional money goes on buying stuff to tweak that up, like different tires, different wheels, maybe a gear and pinion, different motor. It could be anything, different chassis for hard or soft, wood or plastic. So what I do with Scalextric cars is I look at them like, how do I like the way they look, almost, because I'm not going to race them competitively unless we're having a laugh with a few Stellas and pals over, then maybe. But generally, so I look at it how it looks on the face of it rather than its performance. And I quite liked it. I did. There was more in there I liked that I didn't like. So that's pretty good for me.
All right, so
What about
let's
you?
Sunday
What about you?
Slotcars
Come
Sunday
on, let's
Slotcars
hear it.
has chimed in
Come on.
with Scalia has an ugly first half releases. So here's my 2 cents, right? Um, I agree, Scalextric has gone a little bit off the wall with some of the releases, but here's my challenge, right? I've seen a lot of the slot car manufacturers, whether it's reverse slot, whether it's slotted, NSR, even MR slot car, they always have the same sort of mold, or they release one mold, maybe it's different. But here's Scalextric, and I put Carrera in this category too, because Carrera doesn't do a lot of off the wall creations, right? And so I think it's kind of like a breath of fresh air that Scalextric does that, and I think that's their bag. It's what sets them apart in the world of slot cars. So personally, I'm never going to agree with every car that they come out with, and obviously quality control is an issue that I have with them. But
Yes.
I was also very happy to see the different cars come out, right?
And you got 2 minis today.
Yeah, and you know what? It's really funny because I love the minis. They're not part of the 2024 releases, but they have a VW bug that's part of the 2024 releases.
3 and 4.
Yeah, so I mean, I love the new. I'll be honest. Okay, so I'll tell you what I really like. I love the new F1 Williams set that's coming out. I'm definitely gonna pick that one up. 100%. Obviously, I'm gonna get the Batmobile 1989. Who doesn't want the Michael Keaton version? I know some people don't like it, but I think it was cool. Then I think the Ford Escort WRC, I have to get that because I have the Carlos Sainz version. It would be great to run head-to-head against that. So I'll pick that one up.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not going to say I'm going to pick up anything else from the Scalextric lineup outside of that right now. And the VW bug, obviously, I already spoke about that. But outside of that, I'm not... nothing else tickles my fancy. So I do have, a couple of things that I want to pick up. The rest, not that, I'm not super excited about. So that's my take on the Scalextric stuff, right? And I'll give you another reason for that. One is availability from my end. In my neck of the woods, it's not that easy to get Scalextric, right? I am looking forward to, when I come to England in Slotcar Fest, to pick up obscure cars. Because that's something that I'm really excited about, and I have a pretty good... Huh?
The which cars?
Some cars.
Oh, some cars. Sorry, I thought you said a specific car. I was like, I missed it. Where's the volume?
No, I have a couple of cars in particular that I'll be looking for, but that's my take on the Scalextric stuff. Now, I have my own opinions about catalogs because, some of the major brands release catalogs, like Carrera, for instance. Now, this is mainly because I live in Canada, but we don't seem to get anything on time. But a lot of the catalog releases from 2023 have yet to make it on Canadian shores. So I'm still waiting on the Lanciers. I'm still waiting on the cleaning truck. I'm still waiting on a whole bunch of releases from 2023 that have not made it to a shore. So when you initially said, "Oh, I got the catalog for Scalextric," I remember my initial reaction was, "What do I care, Pete? Because who cares? Because then I might never get them in 2024. I'll probably see it in 2025. So I'm not that excited for it."
It's something to look forward to. Every crowd.
The problem is you get anxious, right? When you place a pre-order, you're excited about it.
Or do you have to pay for it when it arrives?
Depends on who you buy from. So if you're buying from LEB, you pay like a cent. You buy from Pendle, they pre-authorize your credit card for the full amount.
Yeah, that's what we do here in the UK.
Yeah, so it all depends, right? And I'm never really sidetracks me for that. Look at this. DNA says he's hoping to get the Golf MK2 GT1.
Yes.
And so I mean, I'd like to know what the chat thinks about it. A lot of people are not happy. So because you can see, there's a majority of people are not that impressed. So Yeah, it looks
So
like.
tell us what you want from Scalextric. If you say this isn't for you,
Yeah,
what two cars would you want from Scalextric? Or any of the brands? You know,
I know
we're
which
only
cars
talking
I
about
want from
Scalextric
Scalextric.
because they
Um,
come out.
I want them to release more of the Bentley Continental GT3s. Come on, boys, bring them back. I have only got one, and I love that car. So yeah, I want that from Scalextric. Maybe we can maybe we can ask Ollie
What,
to
Bentley
do that.
Continental?
Bentley
It's not
Continental
often I can do
GT3.
this, is it? Look, there's
That
one there.
Yeah, just like that one, Pete. But I need more liveries. Hey, look who's
You can
here!
have
It's,
this one.
we got Dave Kennedy in the house. Thank you, Dave, for being here. Yeah,
Oh,
so
hello, Dave.
but I do. They already released the Starsky and Hutch, I believe. Wildman. I
Oh,
think they
no.
already released that one. But yeah, I think I'm not. I think Scalextric is doing a good job releasing like the movie cars and stuff because no one else is doing it. Or at
Yeah,
least
the
I've not seen
Batmobile
any
looks
other
good.
manufacturer doing it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to preface this by saying, listen, guys, I've only been in the hobby in earnest in the last 2 years. So there may have been cars that have come out before that, but I don't know anything about them. So when I'm talking about very recent releases. So I'm a fresh and avid collector of recent material. So if there's something that's come out in the past and I don't know about it, please don't bite my head off. Or you could,
We're
but I will.
post-COVID. We're
Yeah.
post-pandemic. That's what
Exactly.
we are. You know, like you've got Gen Z, Gen Z, Gen whatever, millennial. We're like post-pandemic generation for slot car people.
Yeah.
Coming later.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Carl's in. Right, Carl. Genevieve.
hey, so
And
Dave Kennedy
Ace
says
in.
they cannot re-release the Starsky and Hutch as they don't have the mold anymore. It was destroyed.
Oh,
Oh,
no, sad times.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Well, they can make a
Carrera
new
did
one.
release the Mario and Yoshi. See, I kind of ignored that because I don't really like those cars. But you know, then like I said, every brand has a couple of duds in it. There's no brand that you can say I like everything that came
Yeah.
out. You know, maybe Scale Auto hasn't failed me yet. That's true.
I don't
Scale
know.
Auto hasn't failed me yet.
Pioneer's not done a bad motor, I don't think. I liked all of Pioneer's stuff.
Yeah.
That's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, so I think we kind of talked through this Scalextric stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
if you have anything else that you want to add there, Pete.
Not really. I think it was good. My hot choices would be Batmobile, obviously. It's so iconic. I'd just like to get it and just do a little tune into it and see what I could do to that just for fun. And I think the other good choices were the Jaguar XJS, the Bathurst.
Yeah, let's
And
go have a look at that. So
yeah,
the one you're
so
talking about is not on this page, right?
no. Next
Next
slide.
page. Let's go. So it's not on
No,
this page either.
there it is.
Oh, there
There
it is.
on the
Yeah,
right,
right
yeah,
there.
there you go. Just because I like it. It looks good. I like blue. You know, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
No, it looks like it could be fun. Round the sort of track that I'm building, it looks pretty cool. And they are on the money, right on the gold one, the GT40. That was.
So is this gold, Pete? Because to me it
It
looks
could
like
be.
an ugly brown.
It could be
Just
a
my
mustard. You know, who's
yeah. Yeah, this is the problem. I don't
You're
know if
like the gold police. It's not
yeah.
gold. It's a fake.
well, that's the thing, right? Like this is the problem that I have with the renders.
Well,
I think
put it with that
Scalextric.
pink cobra.
I think the guys at Scalextric need to punch up the hue and vibrancy on their Photoshop files because I don't know. That's maybe what's doing them a disservice is some of the colors are kind of muted, and I think a lot of people commented about that, right?
I can't remember if he said it publicly, so I won't say his name. But he said they're all just bland.
Yeah, Harry did.
Like maroons and mustards and...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Except,
right, yeah.
But then they do have like these crazy cool cars, like the WRC stuff. That's all bright and vibrant.
Not kit-wise, because that's just... I don't know, I class them as separate entities.
But they release these cars separately, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did release these cars separately. I believe you go to Pendle and you look at new
Look at it on
releases.
speed dial.
Yeah, I'm always on speed dial with
It's
Pendle.
like Rahul's comfort blanket, Pendle's website.
Yeah, so if you go here or if you go into the new
Yeah,
pre-orders.
Chris, I definitely want to have a look at a GT40. I think it'll be just a little bit more vibrant when you see it, because of the gloss and stuff. It's almost like they've matte laminated it onto the page.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look a lot different in person. I'm hoping, and I think, yeah. See, here they are, Pete. Like they're releasing them as separate
Oh, there you
cars,
go.
right?
Yeah, Harry's onto it as well with the maroon color with the wines.
Yeah,
It's not helping his drink problem, he said.
yeah. So I think that's the major. Whoa, what's going on here? All right, I messed up there. All right, yeah. So I think that's what's doing them a disservice is that they just released too many muted colors this year, and then they had this odd thing like
You got the cab. That was my third choice.
You like
the
that?
Bathurst, the GT40, and the yellow NYC taxi, because I can park that outside my magnetic racing doghouse, and it'll just look perfect.
All right, that's cool. See, I think for kids or any like youngsters, they'll probably gravitate to these odd cars. And like I was watching, I watch Albert and Wilf and you interact. And actually, my new friend that's coming on board, he has 3 kids, and I gave them a Carrera Go track, and they've been messing around on it, and they're having a blast.
Really?
Yeah. So it was so funny. It's so funny.
You missed it. You should have filmed it up.
He has been filming, so those will be coming out as shorts in a little bit. But I'll tell you a little story about this, right? So I had a Carrera Go set. It was the F1 set. It was the old F1 with the Ferrari and Mercedes. So I kept the cars because obviously I collect them. And I took the set and I gave it to my friend. He has 3 kids, 2 girls, 1 boy. And so unfortunately, one of the controllers, while I given it to him, one of the controllers stopped working, right? So the kids were so anxious to play, he had to make a timer up so that each one of them got equal runs. So I finally gave him a new controller yesterday. I saw him, but they were so excited. Like it's just crazy, right? And that's the beauty of slot cars, right? It's about the kids getting them involved and getting them into it. So as much as we are high and mighty and say, oh, we don't like this car and don't like that car, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as those kids are having fun. So,
and
like
do you know
I said,
what they will do? Do you know what them kids will do as well? They'll have their 1 minute laps, and then it'll be over the other side of the track, and they'll just slowly drive it round to get more time. Because my kids are like, I'm bringing it round, and it's like 2 miles an hour, and you're like, you're taking the Mickey. So they'll be having the best time. Yeah, fair play to you, mate.
Yeah, so then you got Sunday Slotcar says, I love the Batmobile and Taxi. So yeah, I think like, in general, I think Scalextric did themselves a disservice by releasing a very muted palette. But I think in general, they've done themselves a great service by creating new slot cars that just don't exist in the market. So
new tools.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 things. So maybe they've done this sort of muted palette, let's say, to bring down the expectations. So we all think that Q3 and 4 are going to be like, more wine, as Harry says. But maybe they'll pull out more colors. Maybe they'll look at this market research that we're doing now, or Dave Kennedy and Scott did a fantastic job on Talking Utter Slot and their channel the other week, and Travis and MP talked about it as well. So they've had a lot of opportunity to see the proper feedback from the people who are actually going to buy what they make. So I think it's definitely worth, having that chat and just seeing from our perspective and the guys in the chat what we think.
Yeah.
Defo.
Yeah,
so worth covering.
I think it was, and all in all, it's good to, they're the first catalog that came out this year, so the first in the books. And obviously the rest will be following suit. We haven't seen anything from Carrera yet, but we know of a couple of rumblings. So let's move on. So obviously my favorite brand for this year, and the brand that I'm going to be focusing on a lot, is RevoSlot. And I think they're going to have a great hitter for the Slot Car of the Year. because this Datsun 510, I think, is just gonna blow everyone's socks off, and I mean,
It
Revo
looks
Slot
great.
really brings out the best, right, when they bring it out. So, what do you think of the Revo Slot new
Yeah, gets a 10
stuff?
for me, mate. 10 for
10,
me.
right?
I
Tens?
love the blue. The blue and the white
Yeah,
there is smoking hot.
yeah,
The paint jobs on Revo slots anyway. I haven't got one, but I had the fortune of intercepting Rob Sales,
yeah.
who's not watching this because he's in bed ready for bed, but he'll be watching this tomorrow. Hi, Rob, on the telly. But yeah, I said I had his. He said, "Would you mind tuning it?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." So it was good fun to see it, and just the metal chassis, the quality of the parts, the paint job is superb. It's just they've got a higher price ticket, but do you know what? You get what you pay for, and it's worth it. I really liked it. It was the Escort with the blue and white livery. Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
So here's the thing, right, Pete? Like, Revo Slots cost the same as Scalextric in Canada.
As electric.
As Scalextric.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the same price. So if you
Why
had the
wouldn't you
two,
then?
exactly, right? Like, that's the thing, right? Like, it's like this mini,
It's a trick.
right, costs the same as a Revo Slot. So that's why I'm
Wow.
saying to you, around the world, everything's got different priorities. Like, when you look at Pendle, it's $49.99 for a Scalextric car, but for us, it's double that by the time it arrives, plus the shipping and the handling and everything else. So in
Yeah.
reality, it's almost better off to buy a Revo Slot, right? So
You're in luck. You're in luck. And let me tell you why. Because I was just thinking when you said that, I'm just thinking, oh man, you're going to be dangerous when you come over here for the UK Slotcar Festival in May.
yes,
Absolutely dangerous when you walk in there. And I was just thinking I'd arranged a big box parcel couriered for Travis when he left to get over to Austria. And I'm just thinking you're fortunate because I used to do import and export for around the world for stuff. So I can have to arrange a couple of pallets for you. I can see at this rate.
yeah, exactly, probably. Yeah, DNA really
That's
hard to
gonna be
beat the
good
Revo
fun.
Slots, 100%.
Yeah,
And
that was a
yeah,
great review they did as well the other day on those Revos, the Porsches. They were nice as well.
yeah. And obviously, when we say Revo Slot, we're also talking BRM because BRM is the 124 scale version of the Revo Slots. So yeah, I think both of them make a high quality product. They're gonna really shine. And for myself, this year is my Revo Slot year, so I'm gonna try and really pick up a lot of Revo
Yeah.
Slots. I already started actually,
I was going
so
to say, have you started back catalogue buying? So
yes,
sort of buying two now and one from the past.
so I went over to Ernie's and
You went
I made a
crazy.
list. I made a list of all the Revo slots I've missed because I went through
Yeah,
Pendles and I went through all the
he's
backlog
got a
of Revo slots
spreadsheet.
that they had, right? And I made a
Yeah,
list of them and I gave them to Ernie. I was like, these are the ones I want because this year I've said I'm only buying local. So I'm either buying from a local distributor or I'm buying
yeah.
it from Sunday Slotcars or Ernie. So I gave Ernie the list. I said, "This is the shopping list, Ernie. Every one of these is what I want." And he just looked at me and shook his head. He's like, "You collectors." That's all.
That's it.
That's
Start
all he said
penciling
to
them in.
me. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
some-
Stuart says, "Order me a shipping container."
yeah, that's right. Yeah, shipping container. We'll get it off Magnetic Racing.
Yeah.
Um, Dick, yes, 1 in
Ooh.
32, mate, is Revo slot, and their 1 in 24 they use as a BRM brand.
Yeah.
So that's what you get. If you want 1 in 24, Dick, it's BRM. If you want 1 in 32, it's Revo slot.
Yeah.
So cool. No, I really like this. Really like it indeed. Yeah, it's nice. I can see what the fuss is about now, as in
Yeah.
the 510 fuss. There's a big hype about the 510 with these guys doing it and some other guys doing it. Slot it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna
it's
give a big shout out to Great Traditions. They're a really good shop out of the states.
okay.
Um, that I also buy from, or at least I bought from over the last year. So really great place, really good selection as well. So
Just
yeah,
name them again.
Great Traditions out of
Great
Philadelphia.
Traditions.
Yeah, and on eBay they used to be called Lakota Hobbies. So yeah,
Okay.
but their shop is Great Traditions. Great, really good website to buy from. As much as LEB and other places, but they're really
Mhm.
good. Yeah.
Are you
Uh,
analytical, right? Because you actually build websites as a day job. So
yeah.
when you're shopping on Slotcar websites, are you sitting here going, oh, that could be better? Oh, why have you put that there? Uh, do
You know what? We'll make that another topic for another week. Right? I'll break down people's websites and what I think of them, and
yeah,
everyone can give me a swift kick in the head. It's all good. I don't
yeah,
mind.
because I do it like because I do tiles for a living.
Yeah.
So when I walk into like a hotel or a restaurant, I'm like, oh yeah, these are all right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do look at
So
websites a lot, and I do now. Okay, my day job is not building websites, Pete. It's a side gig that I do because my day job is more digital marketing. So we'll talk about
I know
that as well.
it's a piece of your pie.
Yeah, it's a piece of the pie. That's correct. But I do love websites, and I do a lot of search engine optimization and code editing for optimization. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
very critical when it comes to websites. Yes, but we can talk about that later. Yeah.
cool. All right.
All right. So let's move on. So NSR.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So these are two things that I saw. Like I'm not Dave Kennedy or Travis. I don't get inside scoops. So I was just looking through a very quick Google search, and I noticed that these. I think these are P68s there. They'll be coming out this year, and I've been looking for these for a very long time. So definitely
Yeah.
gonna pick that up. And then this livery of the AMG is just killer. So definitely stuff that I think I might be picking up. Um, and I don't know if NSR releases a catalog. I'm pretty sure they do. I've heard they do. I know the C8 was on something that C8 render was on one of the catalog covers that Travis had in the background of his show. And
Yeah.
I know the C8R will be a very, very big car for NSR if it comes out. So I'm really excited to see that one. But have you got any NSRs, Pete?
Yes.
And
I've actually got two AMGs.
oh, yeah,
So I
nice.
bought them.
Yeah.
There's one.
Yeah, and you bought these at a pretty reasonable price, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. I bought them both, and I think I got them for 50 quid each.
Yeah, very nice. I like that one a lot, Pete.
So
I
this
got
one,
that version in Scale Auto, actually. I got the same livery in Scale Auto
yeah,
with the RS chassis, which is their race prep chassis.
yeah. And the reason I bought two was I want to tune one for wood,
Yeah.
one for plastic, so I don't have to mess around changing a car each time I want to race. However, this livery I really like because I'm a big fan of yellow and black, of that sort of look. So this, and I like blue anyway. This is fantastic. No, I really like this.
Yeah.
Do you know? I don't even know, what sort of money these guys go for at the moment either. Oh, hang on, Dave Slottar's turned up.
I
Hello,
know.
Dave. You
I
right?
was about to mention that. We got Dave, um,
Cool with a
Slaughter in the
K.
house.
Clear waters
Hope
here.
hope you're doing well, man. And hope fatherhood is treating you well. So let's see. Yeah, so definitely NSR.
Um,
Something I'm gonna keep my eye out. I don't really have a lot that I want to pick up right off the bat, except for maybe obviously the P68 for sure. Hey, Marty just dropped into the chat
yeah, hey,
here.
Marty, you're right.
Hey, Marty, how are
With
you?
the NSRs, you do have to. It's not just a straightforward get out of the box and race. You do have to do some stuff with it. So, for instance, can't see it, but you have grub screws in there, so you have to put them in to stabilize your ride height at the front. So it
Yep.
is, if you're buying something because it looks good like this, but you just get, that's it. So you just
Yeah,
getting into
they
the
ship them with the grub
hobby.
screws, right? Whoops, let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see. We're
you
gonna
just
put
got
this.
to be,
There you
just
go.
be prepared. That little bag is for a reason, to sort the car out. So, but you can always like sort of ask questions in the chat here. These guys in the chat will answer it in a heartbeat, or will get involved or whatever. But yeah, I like the NSRs. It is for a more discerning racer,
Yeah.
because better quality gears, pinions, wheels and tires. It's a spec torquey engine, motor. God, do you know what I mean? Years, and I still call it an engine and a motor.
Yeah.
So yeah, so just, yeah, it's a nice car. It's not an entry level car, so just be aware that if you're going to buy it, you're going to have to do a little bit of work to it to get it to drive like you would be perhaps used to with an out of the box oven ready car.
Yeah, Dan, I want to say thank you so much for gifting these 5 racing club membership. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, it blows my mind that somebody want to become a member of my channel.
Wow.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, thank you so much, dude. And thank you, and good luck to everyone who gets a membership. Now, I need to really step up, Pete, and we need to start doing some. I need to really take a page out of your book.
Stuff like that happens, we say, mate, this shit just got real.
I know. I'm like, oh no. Every time I see a member, I'm like, oh shit, I better step up my membership game here.
Exactly.
The pressure's on
kind.
now.
Well done, Dan. Good man.
I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you so much.
Slot Journal, nice to see you, mate. Slot Journal's really good at doing, you know, like I do videos where it shows having fun with slot cars with kids and stuff. He's really good at that with his grandkids as well. So I quite like watching his content. It's good fun, like proper, just see energy everywhere. Love that.
No, 100%. There's so much, like, you know, we can't cover every brand. Look at this
Massimo.
Massimo is here in spirit. But we can't cover every brand. But obviously, Carrera is going to release their releases later this month. Massimo did go through a list that was kindly provided by Bo. So really appreciate that, Bo. And I know Dave Kennedy has talked about it, and a whole bunch of other people have talked about it. We really appreciate it. The other thing I wanted to get your opinion on, I don't know if you've seen this, is the Carrera Hybrid system.
I've seen a couple of trailers for it in my feed today. This looks amazing. What is this? Is this like RC or something for Carrera?
No, it's so let's just switch. So Carrera Hybrid is, you got these plastic tracks that you put down, right? And you get these cars that are hooked up to the app on your phone, and you use your phone to drive the car around the track. And it's got it's almost got game modes on it, so you can turbo boost, so you can do like overtakes, and it's got special little game modes in there. So it feels like a very interactive, almost. I mean, it's aimed at kids, but I've seen grown men have great like races doing this kind of stuff with on micro RC level. So I believe it's almost like a micro RC circuit. Which comes like
going over around the flower pot and like not on the track, like just around the floor.
Yeah, so I think you can drive them independent off the track, but I think the track gives them interactivity, so it's kind of cool. I'm very interested to see where it goes. It might be a game, it might not, but I think I'm gonna pick up a track when it does come out. Although I heard it's not going to be available in North America, so I might have to get someone in Europe to pick one up for me and ship it out. But I'll do that probably because I'm interested.
Slot Festival.
Yeah, Slot Festival. If it's out on time.
We're staying in a house, right? Get Nico to pick it up and bring it with him to the house, and then we'll put it on your 2 pallets.
Hey, you're getting ahead of yourself. You're talking about stuff that's happening that we haven't even discussed yet. We haven't even talked to the everyone's now going to know what Nico, Roll, Pete, and what other guy are going to be spending 5 nights in the house in May. It's the Slotcar craziness.
With the diary room, I heard.
Exactly. All right, since Pete let it out of the bag, yes, I am traveling to the UK in May. I am going for Slotcar Fest. It's all booked. Everything's booked. Flights are booked. Though. No, I never. This is the first time we're talking about it.
Oh, brilliant.
You just let it out of the bag.
Live telly as well.
So, yeah, so it's, there's 4 of us getting together. There's Slotcar dude coming in from Austria. I convinced MP, or maybe I kind of mentioned it to MP, and he twisted his own rubber arm and made it out as well. So MP's booked, Nico's booked, I'm booked, and Pete, we're all going to convene in some weird B&B in UK and have 5 nights of Slotcar fun and mayhem. So, hey, there you go. We're going to do a road trip.
It could happen, right?
I don't know. Yeah, last time you got arrested, I heard, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We got arrested. I thought for about 20 minutes, there was a period when we got back, I thought I'd left the keys in the Slotcar Festival for the house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was a turbulent moment. And then I searched my bag for 100th time and found them.
Oh.
So that was lucky.
Another bag gate, is it? You seem to have a lot of trouble with bags, Pete. So maybe you won't be in charge of bags when we are together.
No.
So DeLeon says he's got the Anki Drive.
I normally just hold Doug's coat, but you know.
Yeah.
He'll be laughing at that.
Yeah.
So this hybrid system, back on point, Pete. It's the mutt's nuts. I think I've not seen anything like it. I like the concept, and I do. When I've got a surplus cash, I will pick up a set. I think Carrera, if you're watching, definitely going to get a set.
So DeLeon has this Anki Drive track. It's almost the same as the Carrera Hybrid. Right. So it was an earlier version of it, I believe. From what I've heard from Dave Kennedy, watching Dave Kennedy's show, and I think a lot of people are comparing the Carrera Hybrid to this Anki Drive set. So I'm very interested when DeLeon puts his track together to watch that video. So it might give us a little bit more insight. So there you go. So that was Carrera. Cool. That's all I know about Carrera right now.
Before you move on, is anyone else saying anything about this hybrid that we might not have touched in on?
Well,
Slotars, Carrera-made Mini Zs, and a cardboard track.
Well,
you can put a digital chip in it though, Dave. All right, sound. No, it's all good. MP says big blood. It's about the diary room in the house, the Big Brother house, the big slot house.
Exactly, it's going to be big. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Slot Valley Racing says Anki Drive's biggest problem was the battery and how it ran out fast. So hopefully Carrera sorted out some of the issues. Like I'm saying, I'm not sure if this is a gimmick or it's not. I'm not saying it's going to be a great system or it's not. But I'm interested to find out. So I think it's kind of cool to have some more model cars that can come out and we can have some fun with them. So, and more shooting opportunities for video and for videography and photography for myself. So I'm super excited. So it'll be fun.
Cool.
Moving on, we have MR Slotcar just released their new cars. I got all 3 of these cars in person, so Let's have a look at them now. So these are the GT1s. So I really like the Texaco livery. This is the first Texaco livery I've ever got, so I think it looks pretty sweet. Now I do have these cars in the original plain liveries. They were released earlier in just plain colors like red, blue, mainly for club racing. So these are the first fantasy liveries that Ernie has released. And I was really excited with the Texaco one. I thought it was really cool, very different. I didn't have one, so picked that one up.
Yeah.
The next livery is obviously a lot of people's favorite. I enjoy the Jägermeister livery a lot. So it was cool to that
Yeah,
car
I'm
come
into
out.
Jägermeister. It's striking, isn't it? It's like you know when it's coming around the corner. Jaeger.
Yeah, and I get the point. Like, yeah, I like a lot of flat black cars, but when they're on the track, they are harder to see
Yeah.
than a colorful car. And then the last livery that Ernie released off the Porsche is the Martini one.
Now we're in business.
Yeah,
I'm
this
a
is
big
really
fan of
sweet.
Martini.
The one thing I really like is the
Big fan.
orange spoilers, like the little orange accents all around
Yeah.
it. Really
Yeah.
like
On the
makes the
grill.
pop. You know, it's got a little
Yeah.
pop to it. So yeah, I was really happy to see these. They came out pretty good. I was talking to Ernie. Ernie's very critical. He was not very happy.
Really?
I don't see the blemishes in the paint, but he pointed out like I'm not too happy with the paint job that they did. But he's like, when you're doing your review, let me know because I want to make sure they run proper. So he's very particular, you know. And
I mean, he's qualified. He's seen enough slot cars, hasn't he?
yeah, very qualified. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, so these
Martini
three
is
came out.
right up my street.
So
Show
I'm
me slot
pretty
cars. Love that
yeah
Martini.
yeah. The Martini one was I really love the orange accents. If it wasn't for the orange accents, I don't know if I'd have picked up the Martini one. To be quite fair, but
Yeah.
definitely was going to pick up the Jägermeister and the Texaco ones. But when I saw the Martini livery in person, like I said, sometimes pictures just don't do it justice. When I saw it in person, I was like, oh, I have to have that. Like the orange is so, it really pops. So definitely was great. Um, yeah, so
Cool.
that's MR Slotcar. And then, you know, then we got a lot of other brands out there. And obviously, I couldn't go
Yeah.
through everything and get all of them. You got Pioneer Legends. I don't know what they have up their sleeve,
Be
but
all year.
I'm pretty sure there'll be a pretty cool thing. Slotted has this Kailani Ferrari coming out, which is I'm really excited about. I've already placed a pre-order for it, so I'm excited about that. You have the Van Slot, who's been doing some really crazy cool things, and
Yeah.
then you have Thunderslot. So and more and more and more. So Pete, you can talk about like some of the other brands that you're excited about and things.
Yeah, no, that's the point. As you said, we can't cover all the brands in one show, but that's moving forward. Is the context of the show is to recap ultimately of what we've seen in the last fortnight and elaborate.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we've just elaborated on, the MR slot car and the Revo slot. So this is and Scalextric. So this is just sort of giving an idea that we're not afraid. We're not just sticking to particular brands because we prefer them for different reasons. We're gonna warts and all, the good, the bad, and the ugly across the board. So, whilst we're looking at a Slotted, an Avant-Garde, and a Thunder slot selection here, we might even pull in some Staff's wheels or something for critique. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
no, I don't know much about Avant slot, and that's not because no, I've not had much exposure to them. But I kind of like, I don't know. I don't know why I've not had much exposure to Avant slot, but what I've seen lately that they're doing with things like, these are the guys doing the trailer, isn't it? And
Oh,
stuff
well,
like
they've
that.
done a lot of cars. Like they did
Yeah,
the BMW 720s last
but they're
year. They did,
different. That's
yeah,
what I
they did,
like.
yeah, they do a lot of cool different molds, and I think that's really set them apart because they're not following the trend of GT3
No, but
cars
it's
or
very risky. It's very risky. You're
yeah,
not just doing another AMG or another Porsche 962 or another, I don't know, Zach Speed Capri.
yeah,
So no, fair play to them, and I hope they get good business from it. Because it's taking a risk.
yeah.
Do
Let
you
me
think then,
just
to that end, because
yeah.
I've noticed the kit building stuff that you can get from a lot of places, but I got mine from Pendle, and when I looked last year, when I got the vouchers to buy the kits, there was a fair bit of choice, but now it's an immense amount of choice. And do you think this is going to be the way forward, where people do sort of a test run with some 3D printed stuff see how it goes, like quirky stuff, before they commit to a full-on 2,000 piece run.
Well, I mean, this is what happened with the automotive industry, right? Like, flexible manufacturing is a thing of the future, right? Where we can do short runs and we can affordably do, being able to do affordable short runs will help this hobby and every hobby create more variety, I feel, right? And yes, 3D printing is a big part of that, but I think more than 3D printing is the fact that you can make semi-permanent molds. You can do a lot more with your casting and your molding than you could ever do before. A lot of computer-aided design has helped with speed to market from concept to delivery. So yeah, I do see more of this happening, especially if the hobby continues to grow. I think it's having a resurgence, and the resurgence is causing a lot of the manufacturers to come out with concepts that maybe they weren't so confident in the past, right? It gives them a little bit more, right? So I think 2024 will continue the trend of growth in terms of designs, in terms of more like, I mean, the next slide is a good slide because we talk about scenery here, right? And because we always talk about 2024 releases, but there's everything around the cars that we have to talk about too. And magnetic racing and I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Phoenix.
Yeah, Slotcar Scenics here, and Racetrack Scenics too. We'll talk about them just a little bit separately in a moment. But like all these periphery companies are going to be innovative because when you see new cars like SCX releasing its rally tent again, you can see kind of a surge in it's coming back. There's more
bits.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely looking forward to this year in terms of not only cars but what else is coming out for the Slotcar collector, right?
They are not hanging around though, are they? These boys, man, they are literally like, I'm like, I'm gonna write that down. I want that building from whichever supplier it is, and then literally before I've got the money to buy it, they've launched two other things that I also want. And then I'm like drawing short straws over what I buy. It's crazy. I mean, keep it up, guys. Keep it coming. Don't slow down. But
I think Travis mentioned that this podium was a 1/64th scale, and actually it's 1/32nd scale.
Yeah, it's 132.
Yeah, so and when his live stream, he said, so I never bothered to go to Magnetic Racing to order it because I'm actually looking for a podium structure for my track.
It was fake news.
Yeah, no, so it wasn't fake. It was just, sometimes, it happens, we misspeak. And that's something that everyone needs to understand, and we'll get into this later. But,
just for the record then, on that note, the Slotcar Scenics podium on the left is 1/32.
Yeah, perfect. And so you can talk more about Slotcar Scenics, actually, because you've been messing around with some of the other kits, right?
In which, sorry?
The Slotcar Scenic stuff. You've been messing around with the other stuff. Let's talk about what you've been doing with them.
What have I got? So I do a lot of... so I get figures from like various people and stuff. Yeah. So like these are... I like Slotcar Scenics because they still make metal.
Oh, pewter?
Pewter.
Yeah.
They still make metal scenery.
Yeah.
And I like that. I mean, I've got into resin people a lot more now because it's harder to find this. Even like the scan, like I'd ordered it in pewter, the mini-me. Yeah. And even that had turned up.
Just gotta cover your eyes. These Sony cameras are so sensitive.
Yeah. So even that turned up as resin.
Yeah.
But so I use them for that, and I use them for other sort of scenery bits. I can't show you because it's in the garage with the tracks. But like advertising, plastic advertising race boards. They do the cones. They do like lots of track stuff, and it's like really cool. So you can get tire walls. When I went over to do my first ever episode video with them, we were talking, and I said to David, he's a lovely guy, and his lad Guy, incidentally. So Dave's a lovely guy, and his son's called Guy.
All right, great.
And I said to him, "What was your first ever product?" And he goes, "Tire walls." And I went, "No way! That's actually what I come here to get like hooked up with. Bring it on." So he separated my money out of my wallet, and I left with a smile on my face. It's the only hobby I've ever known where I like leave somewhere skint and I feel like good about it. I go shopping with the wife, I leave skint and I resent it. I didn't want that food. Could have got tires with that. Anyway.
Yeah. And then there's people like, this Boone that does epic scenery, and he's now launching his own like website to do Boone's design, where he does like, he can do dioramas for you. He's making metal guardrails,
like barriers, crash barriers
that are for permanent tracks. He wants me to make sure that everyone knows those are mainly for permanent track setups. They're not meant for flexible track, because when you have to attach them permanently or semi-permanent if you can. Mm-hmm. But he wanted to make sure. But, there's all this coming in 2024. So it's not just cars. It's everything around it. So it's an exciting year, I think, ahead. So
the other thing with Slottrack Scenics is they do period stuff. So you can get like figures that look like 1930s mechanics or flight attendants or whatever. It's not just sort of modern stuff like Mini-Me. But just before we move away from Boone, he does do also like a members page. So if you go and find
he has a Patreon
Facebook,
as well. I'm a member of Boone's Patreon, so if you want to get into,
how do you find that? It's
amazing. I mean, well, I'll say I'm a member of his Patreon, but I never really attend a lot of the stuff because I get one-on-one interaction with Boone all the time. So I'm lucky in that regard. Boone and I chat a lot, and I'll talk about things in a couple of slides here where we'll discuss like relationships that are built on this community, right? So
back on point.
Back on point, Pete. Back on point. Anyway, so I think that covers our 2024 releases, and and we're going to go in for a pit stop. And this is not really a pit stop, but this is the segment that I was talking about where we get to flash a couple of images on screen and we get each other's reactions.
Are we, just before we start this, just some crystal clear? Is it you're going to put the image on and then we're going to go internal together, red, amber or green, as in good, bad or not sure? And then are we moving on a slide or are we elaborating on our choice on why?
No, we'll elaborate on it because I think this is about making sure that we talk it to death.
We'll just drag it out a bit, Rahul. Drag it out.
Let's talk it to death. Let's get our 2 cents out there. And really, this is Pete and myself giving our 2 cents on a certain situation. It's nothing that the industry is supposed to adhere to. This is just me and Pete having a regular old banter that we normally do. Exactly, right? I want to precursor that because I don't want anyone saying, oh, but Raul and Pete said, no, these are our opinions. This is what we're talking about amongst ourselves.
No, that's important.
Yeah. And it's nothing.
Before we move on, that's really important.
I know, because the next slide is the hot slide. So, you ready, Pete?
My God.
Ready?
Me.
You ready? Your coughing is done?
Okay.
You good? Take another sip of that beer, buddy. You'll need it.
Here, Madam Stella. Right. Game on.
All right. So here we go. We're going to start with this.
Hang on.
So this has been, a topic of, I love Billy and Amanda. I'm going to preface this with I love Billy and Amanda. I love everyone that we're talking about here.
Volatility springs to mind.
But yeah, so let's talk about this huge topic that came about, right? And I'm gonna start with this is a red light. This is a red light, and Pete has changed his lighting to red. That means he said this is a red light. Stop. And this is my 2 cents on this, right? And I'm gonna start with the first thing is nobody's
video content.
Well, the video content. Well, we started. Well, this is a content. This video in particular talks about buying of subscribers and how
Who is it aimed for? What's the context? What's the narrative of the video?
I think Billy here. I think Billy here was really trying to do a public service announcement, not really attack anyone.
The students. So he's trying to educate people, isn't he?
Yeah. And I think that's where this got kind of misconstrued and taken out of proportion. But I also think Billy didn't do himself any favors by using the clickbait title. And I think this is what I'm going to talk about is clickbait title. Sometimes that kind of puts you into a position where you have to be defensive as opposed to get the best out of people, right? It's like if you come out of the gate swinging, the first thing the person's going to do is put up their blockers, right? And say, okay, no, you're not going to take a pot shot at me without me being in defensive position, right? So let's talk about YouTube. Now, this is my 2 cents on anything, right? And we'll move on further from this into, Dan released a video about sharing and sharing videos and all that. There's a lot of back and forth and a little bit of kind of what I call trolling that happened with this whole video and this whole topic and this whole conversation. So I want to just say this.
I put in a mixed comment, but I'll tell you about it in a bit. Go on.
Yeah, so Google allows you to promote your channel through paid advertising, right? Everybody has opportunity to do this. I do this on a corporate basis for my clients, right? So when I came on YouTube, like Billy released a video that I got a little bit peeved when he said that everyone's on YouTube to make money. Yes, I guess so. In the nutshell, when you boil it all down, when you take it all apart, everybody wants to make money on YouTube. Did I come onto YouTube to make money doing Slotcar content? No. Because I knew that wasn't the genre that was going to make me money. I could have done anything from web development to design to cameras. There's a lot more genres with much bigger volume, right? So, yes, on the crux of things, everyone kind of starts YouTube maybe to be successful and make money. I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy if I got enough from YouTube to not go to work every day, right? I don't think anyone's going to deny that. But the truth is, if you were into that, then you pick a better genre, I think. And if you didn't pick a better genre, then you need to do your research to find a better genre if that's what you wanted to do. But I'm going to go into this now where trying to make video titles that will clickbait people, I think is also in the wrong, right? Because that's not true to what your content is about. So my first thing is, if you're on YouTube and you're really into this hobby, make content that means a lot to you and leave it out there with your heart and soul into it, right? And then the shares and the likes and everything else will come. Don't try to create buzz by doing crazy kind of titles and stuff just to create that buzz. That doesn't, at the end of the day, you'll just kind of knock yourself down a couple of rungs. I think put the best content out first. I'm guilty of not promoting a lot of other people's channels. And maybe I don't do that on a physical basis, but I also help a lot of people privately. And I'll give one example here. Travis was one of the first people to reach out to me when I was nobody. I had less than 100 subscribers, and he reached out to me, and he gave me 2 thumbs up and said, buddy, you're doing really well. And it was a private message. He didn't do it publicly. He didn't announce it publicly. And I think that's also important to recognize as well. Not everything has to be done in the spotlight, right? we help each other. If we want the community to grow, we have to stay away from trolling each other and really try and help each other in a more constructive way. That's all I'm saying. And that's my 2 cents here. I don't want the in-house bickering to continue. I want everyone to take a step back, look at it from other people's point of view, and then come back at this and reanalyze what you're actually creating your video about. I think that's important. And there's also a way of presenting some of the information. I understand that we do want to make it, like we call this show a no holds barred, but I'm not swearing, I'm not making any crazy gestures, I'm not putting up crazy pictures. I'm doing it based on the Slotcar content. Yeah, not yet anyway. But that's my 2 cents. My 2 cents is let's stay civil. We're a very small community, we're a very small hobby genre. We're growing, yes, but we have to grow with each other. All of us working together. And some of us might not do it very publicly, but I think everyone has the right intention in the back of their mind when they're approaching this hobby. So I think that's my 2 cents. Secondly, if you do want to go ahead and buy subscribers, do it the right way. Do it through Google's advertising program. Go do it through the right channels so that you don't get black flagged and you don't lose your content, because that's the worst that could happen, right? And if that's the way you want to do it, I have all, empower yourself to do it, because Google does make that. Google's a business. They want to take your money any way they can. So, if that's your goal, then go for it. But, you're not going to be, I don't see anyone making a living out of Slotcar content, at least in the not so close future, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with the points you made. I think what I'm going to do is, and the thing you got to realize is, yes, you can look at statistics in the content like it is, but there are such things as glitches. Because I've only just sent, and I'll show you on my show on Sunday, where I'm going to do something else about this, just to calm people down from trolling, and I will talk about that in a moment. But I just sent Rahul a picture, screen grab of my YouTube studio the other day. I posted a short, and it said that it had been published for 54 or 56 years and so many minutes. How is that possible? I'm only 47.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in the video, I saw good and I saw bad. I think the message to that, if you buy, like, shares, subscribers, whatever it, I think it was subscribers he was talking about. If you buy subscribers, the YouTube's going to catch you out and it's going to penalize you. And then he was saying it will investigate everyone else. Well, no one's really doing this, I don't think. I don't know anyone in our circle, and I'm quite close to a lot of people in the community, and no one said that they do this. So I don't know. But
why do corporations buy subscribers, Pete? Why would a corporation buy subscribers? The simple answer is because they want brand recognition, right?
Yeah,
a lot of people are asking why are people buying subscribers. Why would you buy subscribers? Because maybe they really want their brand to take off. Maybe they want to be able to be the next Coca-Cola. Who knows what it is, right?
Yeah,
everyone's got a different perspective when they come into things. It's a different point of view, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not where I was going. I was more going with a point that, like I said in my comment to him, he's here, Billy. Hi.
I know Billy's.
If you're telling students, tell them not to study analytics, but use that time to learn videography or make some video, make some content. Don't get stuck in the numbers. Make some content and become your own numbers. And you have to just, it's got to be fun. And the reason that I got into YouTube was because Vince, my brother, said, stop sending Albert pictures of track layouts in WhatsApp. You need to do it somewhere else. And I used YouTube because it was free. And that's how this all began. So, I don't think anyone is in it overly for the money, because when you get to the 1,000 and you qualify for monetization, you'll realize it's a hobby. You know, you might get a slot car or 3 out of it, you know, now and again, but it's a hobby. So I'd said to someone yesterday that what I'm going to do is, because it really, I wouldn't say upset me, because, you know, it takes a bit to upset me. I've got kids. But
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
irritating to me a couple of weeks ago when you had that live wire on Dave Kennedy and Travis's live streams. It was irritating me because I wanted to see what I was flitting between the two, what Dave was saying and what Travis was saying. And all I got from both of them for the whole stream was, calm down, kidder. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, just spit it out. I want to know what the content is. But they were firefighting a troll.
Yeah.
And and this troll saying, Travis is nicking Dave's turnover. He's stealing his money. His kids are going hungry. And so what I'm going to do on Sunday is I'm going to go back through maybe the last 8 to 10 live streams that I've done. And I'm going to show you what they earned me, as in what money I made from them. And I hope you'll be surprised, because you will be surprised at how much money I make every Sunday. You're going to be like, what?
Yeah. So one thing I want to say is, Billy commented here, and I want to address this. Billy is not a troll. I never once said Billy is a troll, and nor am I saying that ever.
He got trolled.
I actually think Billy got trolled. I don't think anyone trolled Billy. I think it got misconstrued. His idea is very good. He's trying to educate people on how to build proper YouTube content, how to build a proper channel. I'm all for that, Billy, because when me and Marty came out earlier in the year, we were saying, start your YouTube, press record. But we have never done the follow-up of that, is how to market yourself on YouTube, how to do it correctly. I think Billy, Dan, they all have great ideas of how to do that. You know, I'm coming here not to do that because I do it for work every day, and I don't want to come and do it for my own channel, right? I don't want the added work of promoting
and digital marketing on the screen right
exactly.
now.
It's like I could go through stats. Like I run a lot of enterprise software with stats and everything, but I never do it on my channel because I got tired of it. I get tired of looking at numbers. I've been looking at numbers all day, and the intention from Billy was great. And Dan's intention of sharing the video is great. We need to incorporate that more, but everyone's going to do it at their own pace. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Not everyone's going to go tomorrow and start doing all these things, because not second nature for some of us, right? And I think everyone needs to be able to take that breathing room. This is very new for a lot of people. You know, get comfortable with the recording, get comfortable with creating good content first. The rest you can pick up over time.
I wanted to frame it when we started, what the message, the intention, the context of the video was for, before we sort of got into what it was about.
Yeah.
Because I think, and, you know, otherwise it'd be like, you know, Billy would be like, what are you doing? That's not what it was about. And, you know, we're talking about him on screen, so we've got to do the right context, the right narrative setting of what he intended for it, but the outcome of what people perceived from it was completely different. And I think the message in the overriding message that I don't know if you share it, is, you know, just if you've got issues with people, why not write to them one-on-one and just sort of, or if you're going to write a comment, give it balance. If you say this is shit, then tell us why it is. You know, that's just fair. You know, that's common decency. Don't mind you slating us because we've got broad shoulders.
Yeah.
But just tell us why. You know, and if it's really bad, then just do it off screen. There's no problem.
And I'm not doing this to offend anyone, like I said, but we did want to address this because it is something that happened over the last 2 weeks. It affected the hobby community. I have my own, like, you have your member circle that you go to, or we call it the inner circle, you called it, right?
The inner circle of trust.
Exactly, right? And I have Slot Vengers, which is like my inner circle of trust, and we've kind of discussed these in those chats. And I think it's time that nobody here or anyone in the hobby is at fault for anything. That's number one, that I want to make sure. Number two, we're all learning this stupid YouTube game, right? Like, that's the bottom line. And some of us are going to stumble, make mistakes. Some of us are going to do it because we want to do it. There's no right or wrong answer.
Like turning up almost an hour later.
Yeah, well, you didn't do that.
I was only a couple of minutes late. But yeah.
I don't know. So Billy wants to come on. Let's see.
No. We're just steaming on to the next slide. We said we were going to do 5 minutes a slide, or we're going to be boring.
So Billy, the next slide is...
We'll do, if it's all right with you, is if we chat offline, then maybe we'll sort something out between us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. And then what we can do is we can have a better plan, because if you come on now, we're on... It's reaction time. We're not on considered measured time. We're sort of sticking up for you a little bit here, but trying to help you not do that again. So if we can talk offline, I think that'd be better. 3 ways. Yeah, cool. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. So the next slide up is there's a big resurgence in podcasts.
Yes.
Right. And I want to give this a huge green light because I love this kind of banter. I was just watching the MP Slotcar stuff. I watched De Leon's podcast. It was hugely informative.
That was amazing.
It was great. And then we had Talking Out of Slot. Like, great podcasts have started to come out. And Pete, I gotta commend you because you're the one who started this initially. Because I remember you did the first podcast with DNA, and they actually mentioned it. I mean, there's other podcasts before that, but we're talking about
from 1 in 32 scale, strictly figures.
Right. You did the Tara one, which was huge. I bought a lot of brushes from that one.
Yeah, I remember.
So
there were some great tips in that podcast.
Yeah. So I think this is a huge green light. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on this, I like it. I think they've all got their own place within the podcast. There's no clash, there's no overlay or anything like that. Just leave it Rahul, it'll be fine. And I think I really enjoyed the Scalextric review, Talking Utter Slot. That was really good. And I just enjoyed it. It was caught me off guard because they're good, but that was really good. Massimo's podcast, I'm about maybe a quarter of the way off the finish. And then, but yeah, the De Leon and Slotcar Daddy, genius, really good chemistry. I was actually building this Slotcar rack next to me, and I had that on in the background. So when I do the video of it, I'm actually gonna just make a shameless long video of me putting this thing together, playing their podcast as the music. So I hope they don't copyright me. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I hope, now it's like you said about YouTube and YouTube creations. I hope that they stick with it. Sasha and Daihi have done a really good job at sticking with it, and they've got lots of different people on, lots of different types of chat. It's been really insightful. Scott has been doing it for a long time. He's got lots of different stuff going on. So I hope Rob and Slotcar Daddy I can, keep it going, find the content, give it to us. Their chemistry on screen is really good. It's like, it's really watchable, So that's what I think of these. I'm a big fan, definitely. And because also I do a lot of traveling, commuting to work and back, it's like 2 hour round trip to work, 2 hours on the way home. I get a lot of time. And whereas sometimes in the countryside, the data is shocking, so I can't really stream live video, podcasts are actually sometimes easier to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I like
It's good.
podcasts because you, like everyone's saying, like nowadays I paint for about an hour and a half every evening, and I just throw on something in the background, and you don't have to like concentrate on it. You can just listen to it, and you know, it's great to consume that kind of information. And the podcasts are really doing great things for the hobby, I think, as well. So yeah, big green light for this. Really excited about it, and I hope you guys continue to push out, you know, the rest of the podcasts.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why I do also my impromptu live sometimes. Sometimes I just turn on the live stream when I'm painting. And I know I delete them all, or I move them off into the members portion of my channel. So if you're a member or you became a member, then that's where all the painting videos end up. By the way, I don't take them offline; I just move them into members channel. I only had one major member, and his name was Pete, and so he's been consuming that information. But anyone who's joined, you have access to it now too as well. So yes.
That is good. Right, so we'll just change the light back. Okay, we had a green for that one.
And then,
yes, like this. We'll go green for this.
Yeah,
this
so
car, post-apocalyptic beast of a car. Love this.
Yeah, so you sent me this, and I was like, you know, so I can never say red light to anything that anyone creates, because who am I to stop a creation? I think any creation is great, and if you're doing it, whether you're a beginner or you're seasoned, the moment that you start doing it and you actually finish something just like this, you got to get a green light, because you know, you put your blood, sweat, and tears and you created something, and I think that's awesome. So from my perspective, it's a green light all the way, and this goes out to all the custom car builders, like the Georges and the Shotgun Daves and the Dannys and everyone, and you know a whole bunch of them on your end of the pond, so you can name them out. And I wanted to say big green light to all of them for making this hobby wider in breadth. So yeah.
Well, Rob Swift's doing the business. We've got Dave Slotcar, we've got Mr. D, we've got Andy, you know, Andy and Ruben. Andy is a big scratch builder. There's a lot of it going on. I'm sort of halfway to getting what I need for it, but I've got to get a few more bits. But I like this. This is good. This belongs to Paul from Slotcar 2021 YouTube channel. He's got some good content, and he picked this up. I don't know what his plan with it is, because he normally buys minis and BTCC cars. So I think maybe there might be a plot hatching on this one. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I love it. It's the sort of thing you'd expect to see on one of Shane's at Hughes Garage's videos, his apocalyptic masterpiece or something, hosing down the screen.
Yeah, I mean, like this is really cool. I like the weathering. It's kind of different. It's different in its approach. So yeah, definitely a big thumbs up for me. And oh look, Slotcar is starting a drag car build next week as well. So and you know, Dave does a really good Dave is one of the smoothest people to watch when he's doing like a build of anything. So he's also measured, and so it's awesome. So I'm pretty sure it'd be really cool to see. But I think that brings us to
green lights.
Yeah, so that's green. Do you have anything for me, Pete, that you wanted to throw out at me, or?
As in, I thought you meant like I've missed the slide or something then for a second.
No, there's no slides you missed. I was like, no, did you have, because you said you might have a couple of tricks up your sleeve, but, you know, we'll leave that maybe for next show. We'll see what we're doing, because we're over our allotment of time, because we're about an hour and a half.
Oh wow!
I didn't realize this show would go on for so long.
1 to 1.5 hours. That's what we said we would
Exactly.
do.
Yeah.
We didn't get stale and a bit long-winded.
Yeah. Well,
no one wants the bleeding on.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna do. In honesty, I was gonna prepare the financial slides that I spoke of earlier. You know, to highlight to people who think that by watching someone or streaming at the same time as someone is gonna, you know, blow up the internet police and ruin someone's living. I was gonna prepare those figures, but in honesty, even though I was ready and prepared, I spent a good amount of time after the stream last night prepping up Mrs. Brown's birthday presents for this morning for when she woke up. I forgot about it during the day, her birthday. I just got in the throes of work, as you do. I'm going to do them financial things. I'll do them later when I get home. And I got home and saw the flowers on the side. It's like, oh yeah, shit! I best get the frying pan and the cooker on. So all well intentions. I was going to do that as the sort of here. What do you think of this, Rahul? Do you reckon this runs true with what you're seeing reflectively for the amount? You know, it'll be different figures for you and I. Yeah. But if you did this to yours on subscribers, so if we've got times that by X amount, it would roughly look the same, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just to show people that's what I had in mind. But in honesty, I forgot about the key event today.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, at least you got to spend time with her. You got to spend time with us in the chat. We really appreciate you guys being here.
This has been good fun.
Yeah, remember our next show is not till February the 1st of 2024. So
where's it going to be?
It's going to be on Track Fans TV. That's where we're going to be. So catch us on Pete's channel.
Be at 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
9:30 in the UK, not 10:30. So we'll get the advertising right next month, and I'll be here on time next month. I wonder why you were saying, as Rahul sent me a message at 9:15 saying, I'm in the software.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means I'm in here whenever you're ready to come. We'll have a chat before we go on and stuff. And I'm thinking, well, you might be in the software, but it's an hour and 15 minutes before we're on, and it's Mrs. Brown's birthday. I'm like, yeah. And then he sent me a message about 9:25 going, you're cutting it fine, man.
Yeah, I know.
At which point, I'd sent you a couple of voice messages, literally, hang on, I've checked YouTube and you've advertised it at 9:30. Are you going to go live? And then I thought to myself, there's 8 people waiting. He's definitely not going to keep them waiting for an hour. So I'm legging it in here, I'd set up, try and get the lights and everything on. And I've come on and I'm like, are we live? And you're like, yeah, only a few minutes. Sorry, man.
No, it's all good, man. Like I said, this is the first time we're doing it. It's across the pond. I do everything in Eastern Standard Time, and I looked at the world clock. It said 10:30, so I messed up. But hey, that's the thing about it.
Who cares? We're here.
It's fine. It's fine. And I know Billy's probably upset at me, but we'll sort it out. Billy, you'll have your say, and I'll be there when you do.
You will.
So,
but it's just raw at the moment, and I don't know whether you'll do yourself a service or us. But I do want to say, just before we do push on, he's possibly in bed at the moment, but I do want to give a shout out, if he's still watching this, to Daz Hall. Yeah. He's had a bit of a rough deal this week. So just Daz from the members WhatsApp Inner Circle of Trust group, you got some support there, mate. I'll just say it out here for these guys in the chat. They know you, they love you, you like Monitor. Just we're there for you, mate. So, chin up.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give them a shout out just before we sort of do what we're doing and moving on. So 2 weeks today, just to recap. What is it, the 1st?
The 1st of February.
Yeah, 1st of Feb. Over on my channel on this hook. So we'll be over there. We're alternating it. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. because we've got, I think, is it Carrera this week that's coming out?
I believe the Carrera release is coming out this week, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
between
so
the 2 weeks, by the time we come back, the Carrera releases will come out.
Yeah, so we're content rich for about 2 months. And then when all the catalogues are out, we're going to be like twiddling our thumbs. We're like...
No, I don't think so. If Dave and Travis are releasing news every week, well, I'm pretty sure we have stuff to talk about. Plus, we have other things. I think there's some. Yeah, we got lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I worked that one in there. Well done.
Yeah,
I know Rick and Mark probably aren't watching this yet, but there you go. You got that going on.
Yeah, and I was thinking like we could broaden this out to some tips for shooting or whatever it is that we do, because you have some knowledge into cameras and shooting as well, and I how I am avid about that, so we have a lot of things that we can talk about.
Videography side.
Yeah, and also note that this is not a 1-year show. This is for as long as Pete stands me and I stand Pete. So this is not got a time limit, no expiry date like my first live I did. I'm here to just have a lot of fun. I'm not here to ruffle a couple feathers. I guess we will.
Together for a week. This is finished.
I know. As soon as Slotcar Fest is over, I'm like, Pete, I never want to see you again. But anyway.
Yeah, that's it. I changed my number.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll be there for Billy's live because I think I guess Billy's gonna go live. We'll get a sense to. I think he's going live tonight, he said. So, everyone, yeah. So, but anyway, other than that, we will catch you in 2 weeks, everyone.
Hold the phone. Eric!
Eric?
What do you need to say, Eric?
Go for it, Eric. We're waiting on you, Eric.
This is your moment, Eric. He's like, damn it, I can't type. No, typo. No, come on.
Yeah, anyway, let's see what Eric has to say. But other than that, I think this was a pretty good start. You guys can comment and tell us what you like, what you don't like. I'm pretty open to that. And I'm pretty sure Pete would like to know, what we can improve on. We're not perfect. Everything is good. No. And we'll go from there.
We're trying to address good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
8 Eastern time. What's 8 o'clock? What time is it where you are now, Rahul?
Right now it's 6:15. So right, you'll be well asleep, my friend.
Be 1:15, mate. No
you'll
chance.
You'll be well asleep. You'll be well
I'll
asleep.
read the comments before I watch the video and decide.
Yeah.
Sound. Yeah. Anyway, dudes and dudesses, it's been a pleasure, Rahul. Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much, Pete. I will catch you up later. And
Indeed. All right.
See you guys. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.
See you later, legends.